Leaving Cert Higher Level Maths 2024. This is the solution video to paper 2, question 10. So question 10, the final question on this paper. A company makes windscreen wipers. In this question, the rectangle PQRS has a width of 180 centimeters and a height of 100 centimeters. M is the midpoint of PQ, N is the midpoint of SR, and O is an element of NM. All lengths are given in centimeters. So here's the diagram here. In the diagram below, the line segment AB shows the type of wiper blade. AB rotates about the point O, where O is an element of AB, until it reaches the point A prime, B prime. So it rotates like this. The region that it cleans, which is A, B, B prime, A prime, which is the sector O, B, B, B prime without the sector, or with the sector O, A prime removed. So it's this shaded sector here with this little sector removed. A prime, B, and B prime lie in the rectangle P, Q, or S, and N lies in the arc A to B. So a lot of information there, and that could put some students off. So let's just take our time and go through it. Show that OB is equal to 120. OB, show that this length here is equal to 120. Well, that's the radius of an arc. This is also the radius of an arc, this dotted line here. We're given measurements here, 20 and 100. So OB is the same length as ON, which is that vertical line there, which is equal to 120 centimeters for 5 marks. Hence, show that angle BOT is equal to 41.4 degrees, correct to 1 decimal place. Well, I'll just draw what that is. It's this angle here. Okay, I'm going to call it theta. In the diagram, it's this angle here, theta. So we have this length here, 120. We have this length here is 90 because it's half the length of the rectangle, which is 180. So we can now just find theta there. So the cosine, the adjacent over the hypotenuse, cos of theta is equal to 90 over 120. So theta is equal to the cos inverse of 90 over 120. So theta is equal to 41.4 degrees for 10 marks. Hence work out the area of A, B, B prime, A prime. Remember that AB, B prime, A prime is the sector with the other sector removed. So we can first of all find the angle BOB prime, which is the big angle at the center. So we need this angle here, BOB. We need that angle there to find the area of a sector. So the angle BOB prime is equal to 180, which is our straight line, minus twice this angle, twice that theta, minus twice 41.4 degrees. So that is 97.2 degrees. And now we can go ahead and find this distance here, OA. So that distance there, we can find that now using the sine of 41.4 degrees. So sine of 41.4 degrees is equal to 20 over OA, which is the size of the side that we need to know. So to work out OA is equal to 20 over sine 41.4. So that's equal to 30.24. So that is the length of the small, I'll show you on the diagram again, this length here. So that is 30.24. So now to find the area of the shaded sector, the area is going to be equal to the big area, let's call it A1, minus the small area A2, and they're all sectors. So area of a sector minus the area of a smaller sector. The area of the big sector is 97.2 degrees over 360 degrees times pi times the radius, which is 120 squared, and the area of the small sector is the same angle, 97.2 degrees over 360 degrees pi times the radius of this smaller one, which we've just found as 30.24 squared. So the area, if you work that out, is 11,439 rather centimeters squared for 10 marks. On to the next part then. They're giving us the diagram there again, moving the point O along the line NM. So moving the point O along this line here changes the size of the wiper blade and the region that it cleans in the diagram. So in the diagram below, DE rotates about O. So DE rotates about O, where O is an element of D, until it reaches DE, D prime, E prime, as in part A. So they all lie on the rectangle. So the question is here, E prime OE is 105, E prime OE. So the angle here is 105. By setting OE equal to X, that's this distance equal to X, use the triangle OEE prime and the cosine rule to find the value of OE. So again, very wordy, but the maths behind it isn't too hard. If we do the triangle like this, we have an angle of 105, we have a side X, we have another side X, and we have a side of 180. We can now use the cosine rule, and it's not too bad. So 180 squared is equal to X squared plus X squared minus 2X by X, which is X squared, cos 105. So that's 180 squared is equal to, we have 2x minus 2x squared, 2x squared minus 2x squared cos 105. So we can take x outside of that, x squared outside of that, and get 2 minus 2 cos 105. And then divide across by this to get x squared is equal to 180 squared over the square over 2 minus 2 cos 105, and then take the square root of everything there like that. You get x is equal to 113.4 centimeters. So not too bad a cosine rule. Might be a bit confusing just because there's no a and b, it's rather it's all in terms of x, but working through the cosine rule, you should have done a question similar to that before, and that is worth 10 marks. And over to the last page of the 2024 exam, and they're throwing in a little bit of probability into this question. Matty is driving home. On the way home, she passes 5 traffic lights. Each traffic light is either red, green, or orange when she arrives at it. One day she notices the pattern made by the colour on each traffic light as she arrives at it. So it could be, for example, red, red, orange, green, red. How many different patterns could the 5 traffic lights have? Well, that'll be 3 choices for each of the 5. So there's 3 to the power of 5, which is 243 different patterns that there could be. 5 marks. How many different patterns could the 5 traffic lights make if the first is red and the 5th is not red? Well, the first one being red is 1 choice. Then you'll have 3 where you have the 3 choices, red, orange, or green. And then the last one is not red, so you only have 2 choices, orange or green. So that is equal to 54 choices, or 54 patterns. And that one is for 10 marks. And the last question, how many different patterns could the 5 traffic lights make if no 2 consecutive lights are the same colour? Well, starting with the first light, you have 3 options for it. The second light can't be the same as the first, so you have 2 options for that. The third light can't be the same as the second, so you have the 2 options for that. The fourth light, again, using the same logic, is 2, and the 5th light, using the same logic, is 2. So 3 by 2 to the power 4 is 48 different patterns, and that's worth 10 marks. So handy enough 25 marks at the end of the exam, in my opinion. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.